One way to measure that, the usage rate, which for those unfamiliar is basically how many of a team's offensive possessions end with a particular player's action. LeBron's usage rate is exactly where it was last season with the Cavaliers, but when trying to develop the talent around him, is that too much? Well, LeBron isn't sure.
Magic and Kobe know who I am. I know who I am. They know what they're going to get out of me. That is, you know what you're going to get out of me every game. Am I going to play well every game? Am I going to shoot the ball well? No, but you know who I am, and when it's time to, when it's really, really, really money time, you know who is going to be there. So, you know, we got guys that just want to continue to develop and guys that continue to, you know, get better and better just from experience. That they haven't had a lot of experience. So I think that's, people are trying to blow it out of proportion, like, okay, why do you have LeBron if you don't want to use them as much? Guys are just, they don't understand the logic behind it. But it doesn't matter. Like you guys asked me the other day, like, do you feel better after playing 30 minutes compared to if you played 40 minutes? It's like, no. I work myself all year round to get in tip-top shape all year round. I don't stop. So I can do whatever. I mean, I played a Game 7 in the finals, and I damn near played every minute of it. Last year I played every single game. So, you know, you can kind of slice it how you want it, but I understand what Magic and Kobe are saying, and we have to continue to develop these guys, because if we don't, then long term, what does that do for our franchise?
Wait a minute, who started this story again?
Well, Magic Johnson kind of started the story, which is why he referred to him. Magic, of course, is the president of the LA Lakers at this point. Kobe Bryant, in another interview, was asked about LeBron and his role, and both kind of hinted at the same idea that when you're developing a young team, as the Lakers are, there's a balance between relying on a superstar like LeBron James and trying to make the young guys better and helping them learn how to win on their own. Magic said we can't, basically, I'm paraphrasing, can't do what we did in Cleveland or what he did in Cleveland moving forward. And Kobe said this is not a recipe for a championship. In other words, you're going to develop these other guys if you're going to have a championship caliber team and not just a superstar guy.
But what he did in Cleveland, what's wrong with what he did in Cleveland?
Seems pretty good.
But he did not have a Ingram or a Kuzma in Cleveland too, did he?
No, he had more experience.
He had more experienced guys, right.
So that's why much as I love Magic, I'm trying to figure out what story is he trying to tell us, because it's apples and oranges. When you talk about,
I feel like I get his point.
But stay with me, Matt. But if there was a Kuzma, if they got rid of their young talent, they got rid of Bennett and they got rid of Wiggins. So
they never had Wiggins. They brought in Kevin Love because they wanted more experience.
Exactly. So that's why I'm still stuck with. There were not two guys when he came back from Miami. There was not two young guys there trying to develop. It was just Kyrie, and you went and got Love. You had J.R. Smith. You had veteran guys. So that's why I'm a little off versus Kuzma and Ingram. Ball were there. They were the team. LeBron came a free agent. LeBron comes in. Now it's time to reshuffle the deck and say, wait a minute, are we developing? Are we trying to win? Because we have LeBron now.
And I understand what Magic and Kobe are getting at. They're talking about the long-term opportunities for the Lakers. But there is no long-term beyond
LeBron's 34.
Well,
LeBron's not 32 or 28.
Whatever LeBron's life is in terms of that contract he has with the Lakers, that is as far out as I'm planning.
Sure.
You know, and what the Lakers are thinking about and talking about is a franchise, a heritage franchise now, 3D, that's used to being a contender.
All the time.
And for the past 5 years, they've been in the wilderness.
Right.
So now you have LeBron back, and you automatically start thinking, well, how do we make this last for another generation and another 10, 15, 20-year stretch that you're used to? That's not how it works with LeBron.
Right.
You maximize what you can while LeBron's in that Lakers uniform, and then you concern yourself with the pieces after that. And that's just what Magic's getting at. He doesn't want it to be a situation where if LeBron's not out there, the power's out for the Los Angeles.
But Matt, like we talked about last week, though, if that's the case, that's why you built this roster the way it is. That's why you got Lance Stevenson, Rondo, and all these mixture of older guys on one-year deals.
Yeah.
And then you have your young guys you want to build around.
Those are stopgap guys.
Yeah, so it's you're asking, hey, LeBron, come put us there and show us how to win. But then again, you don't play so much so our young guys can play and develop. So it's like
they're walking a little bit of a tightrope in LA, the way they've gone about this. To me, when LeBron arrived, this was always about 1920.
Yes.
It was never about 18-19 because they don't have a roster that's going to win a championship more than likely. You never know what's going to happen. But almost nobody outside of LA would tell you they're going to win a championship.
And I agree with LeBron.
They were trying to set this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with LeBron. His usage rate is exactly the same as you pointed out.
Exactly the same.
So it's not like he's completely changed the way he operates.
Right.
He's doing what LeBron has done for, as long as we can remember. He's doing it with a much different cast. Think about it. When he left Cleveland the first time, went to Miami, they reassembled the pieces in Miami to cater to LeBron and to win right away.
Right.
Did the same thing when he came back to Cleveland, bringing in Kevin Love, had Kyrie in place. The Lakers did not move heaven and earth to add those other pieces. No offense to Rondo, JaVale.
No, but that was everyone's
That was
concern when he arrived was that the other pieces didn't fit his game.
Did not fit his game.
Right.
And I think that's where the Lakers are looking at. They're looking at it from a lens and not wanting it to be what Cleveland looks like in the aftermath of LeBron leaving, instead of focusing on what it should look like when LeBron is there.
There you go.
I took it to mean that they're hoping when this comes to fruition, which again to me is next season or the season after, that the young stars will be ready to contribute in a conference finals, in an NBA finals. You're talking about Ingram and Ball and Kuzma.
So that, with that being said again, but isn't there a reason why they have all this extra cap space because they're trying to bring in
for the other star, right?
So Magic, once again, are we developing, making sure of this, or are we trying to bring in another
I have your answer.
superstar?
I can answer this for you.
You see what I'm saying?
I can answer you. Want me to answer?
Yes.
The answer is yes.
And it's
They're
clear
trying
they want to
to
do
do both things.
Exactly.
Yes.
But you can't do both.
And it's very difficult.
Because how can you sign LeBron max, bring in two superstars max, and keep all three of those young guys?
You have to have a situation like Boston had, where you
the timing of contracts, and then
$8 million draft picks, And
then eventually you end up losing somebody.
Right.
There's no way you can keep everybody.
I do feel
well,
like
that was part of why Julius Randle is no longer in LA.
But I do feel like
Yes.
this is the manufactured drama that comes with having LeBron James on your roster.
Right.
So welcome back to the spotlight, Los Angeles Lakers. This is what it feels like.
Better talk about that than
to
nothing.
be in the headlines all the time.
Talk about
for something that might be absolutely nothing.
Right.
But welcome back to the headlines.
Which leads us to our next topic, which is Kevin Durant's comments about LeBron on Bleacher Report with Rick Bucher. Interesting thoughts from the number one free agent available next summer. Keep that in mind when you read what he said. Said the Lakers may have a hard time finding another star to play alongside LeBron, in part because of what a start might have to give up on the floor, and partly because of the strain of entering the Kings' orbit on a regular basis. Quote, so much hype comes from being around LeBron from other people. He has so many fanboys in the media. I'm hurt, Kevin. Even the beat writers just fawn over him. I'm like, we're playing basketball here, and it's not even about basketball at certain points. So I get why anyone wouldn't want to be in that environment, because it's toxic. First of all, it sounds a little petty, right? From Kevin Durant. I mean, a little bit, right? The fanboy thing.
Am I a fanboy now? I'm in the part of the meeting now. Players only, baby, LeBron. Oh, no, that's next. My bad. That's next.
You're waving a mirror.
I couldn't find a
tag
fan.
that's followed LeBron for years, Matt.
Sure, and I understand both points. First of all, in terms of style of play, if you're a high usage rate player yourself, Kawhi Leonard, for instance, maybe playing alongside LeBron James doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you. But the second point, for a player who doesn't want to be a part of all the stuff we were just talking about, there's probably something to that.
Yeah, there's an army of guys who have covered all of the seminal stars in these. Kobe had a bunch of reporters that people thought were fanboys of his.
Sure.
Shaq.
Clearly, there are people who made careers off Shaq, off Michael Jordan.
Yep.
You can run down the list. Magic. Yep. There are guys still writing books about some of these all-time great players. So I get what Durant's talking about. This is more of that thin-skinned persona that I think a lot of us perceive Kevin Durant to have. But unfortunately, for some people who don't like it, there's a lot of truth in what he's talking about. And we're just not used to another player of this caliber saying it. Kevin Durant is clearly not shy about telling you exactly what he thinks. And if it doesn't jive with what everybody wants to be the narrative about LeBron or whatever other topic he's talking about, it's going to ruffle some feathers. But very interesting when you consider what his presence will be on the free agent class this summer and the fact that the Lakers are going to be one of the main players.
Well, and he certainly signaled to the rest of the league,
Message.
Not the Lakers.
Message.
Scratch them off the list. Right?
Message.
Unless he's got us all fooled. You know, that seems to be a telegraph to the rest of the world. Okay, not L.A.
And to Sekou's point, Matt, for once we have one of our superstars being transparent and being honest.
Oh, I love the quote. It's great.
And
yeah.
you
You just don't want to be a fanboy. I don't want.
No, I don't want to be accused of being a fanboy, right?
Yeah, I couldn't find it. So come on, KD. I'm not a fanboy. But anyway, but I think it is a big message for all those people who are thinking that, oh, he's definitely going to run to LA. He wants to play with LeBron and all that. I think that was a good message that that's not one of the places he's going to look at.
By the way, equal time, Kevin Durant, you are a great, great player.
Hold on.
There you have it.
Come on, fanboy.
Well, fanboy
Come on,
accent.
fanboy. Come on, fanboy.
You lean into that.
Come on, fanboy.
There you go. By the way, players only coming up. You've got the Lakers, right?
I told you, I knew he was coming to LeBron.
Are you going to be there?
Fanboy LeBron, I'll be
Are you
there.
going to be in LA or are you going to be in Boston?
I'll be in LA.
Here's the thing. At the end of the game, if you get LeBron, you got to ask him something really hard now.
Oh, my goodness.
Something really uncomfortable.
LeBron, do you usage rate too high? Are you playing too much?
You got some time.
Do you
Some
still
time to
love
work on it.
basketball,
Make sure you
LeBron?
got his T-shirt ready, fanboy.
Are you a great leader?
Coverage starts at 7 Eastern time with the Auto Trader pregame show. Pelicans, Celtics, Heat, and Lakers Monday on Players Only. Coming up, the man who took attacking the rim to a whole different level, reliving the Shaq attacks that left NBA rims unplayable. Next.